Hey VC, Midge here, guy in a hat. I'd like to talk about records, and I'll be honest with you, I've been having a really terrible week this week. A few things have happened, nothing serious, just really bummed me out. And I've been meaning to do a couple of threads recently. I just never get round to doing it. I remember my friend Christian over at the Vinyl Sanctuary always says, take refuge in records. And this thread came along at the right time because it gave me something to do to stop my mind from wandering where it will go. And it just came along at the right time this week. So I was able to, when I came home from work, I was able to just get lost in this thread really, and because it's quite a challenging one. Unlike my hats thread, which was apparently low end and too easy. Hashtag harsh. But anyway, this is for a channel I've only just recently got into, and it's because he very kindly did a video on my thread, and this is the Righteous Bojambo, which is a great name for a channel. And I was introduced to his channel, like I say, because he did my hats thread, and I've been watching a few of his videos, and I really like the cut of his jib, to use one of my favourite expressions. And he's very entertaining, he's very articulate, he's very wordy, and he's very entertaining. So it's quite the opposite of my channel really, but I really like the way he presents things and the way he talks about things. He's got a great way with words. And he's celebrating 1 year in the VC, or I think he's had a channel before, so it's like this is his year anniversary of the channel he's starting at the moment, or the channel, his new channel. And yeah, he did this thread which is called a scavenger hunt, and the idea is there's 12 prompts, and the idea is they get harder as they go along. And I must admit, it's been great because it's been something, like I say, to take my mind off things and to pull out some records and think about what I've been pulling. And some of these prompts I've found really difficult, but I'll tell you which ones these are as I go along. But anyway, this one's for you, Old Fowley. I hope you like it, and I hope you like my responses. Check out his channel, I'll leave a link below, and do his thread. It's great, I've really enjoyed doing it. And yeah, let's get on with it. This is the Righteous Bojambo's scavenger hunt thread. So the first prompt was find an album that's older than you. So I've gone for an album that's 1 year older than me. So this is an album that was made in 1972, and it's by an absolute genius in my opinion. And this is Bill Withers and Still Bill. And I absolutely love Bill Withers. He's an absolute genius. I don't think he's lauded enough, to be honest, in the music biz. The songs he's written and his voice and, everything about Bill Withers is amazing. And this album's superb. It's got some nice flaps on it, which is always a bonus on an album. And there he is, cheeky Bill. And, the tracks on here, it's just, Lonely Town, Lonely Street, Who Is He and What Is He to You, Use Me, Lean On Me. I mean, these are all on the same album. I mean, it's just like, 4 or 5 standards on one album. It's just amazing. And Bill Withers is amazing. So, yeah. And also, I've often thought that, obviously Bill is no longer with us anymore. And I thought it might be appropriate if, when they reissue his albums from now on, they put in between Bill and Withers, no longer. So Bill no longer with us. So people would know then that he's not around. But I don't know, maybe that's a matter of taste. But yeah, Bill no longer with us. Bill Withers, still Bill. So that's an album that's older than me. Okay, second prompt, show a 45 where the B side is better than the A side. Now I've got a problem with this because I sold all my 7-inch collection a couple of years ago. I just got, well, apart from I perhaps kept about 50, and I got rid of the rest of them because, to be honest with you, just taking up space. And I'm not, I've got an affinity with 12-inch vinyl, obviously, but not really with 7 inches. So, and I never used to really play them. So I had a massive clear out to give me some more space for 12 inches. So I haven't got many left. And the ones I do have left, the B sides weren't better than the A sides. But I did find one, and this is the Beastie Boys, one of my favourite bands. And this is one of their early singles, She's On It. she's on. It's terrible. You can just see the stills from the video, and you know it's terrible. It's a rare. I won't say a lack of taste because the early stuff did show a bit of a lack of taste, but it's the poorest thing they ever did, and they didn't really do that many poor things. But the B side to this is from obviously Licensed to Ill, and it's Slow and Low, which is a great sort of bossa nova type hip hop song. But yeah, she's on it. Is terrible Beastie Boys single. Yes, even the video's worth avoiding. So yeah, rare lack of taste from the Beastie Boys there. But yeah. Okay, find a record you've danced to. Danced to quite a few records. I can't help moving my feet and my arms and stuff when I'm listening to music. My wife's always telling me off to keep still because, she's trying to watch a program and I'm like there with the headphones on. So I've danced to quite a few records, even though I can't dance, but this is definitely one I've danced to on many occasions. And it's the absolutely superb soundtrack to the film Car Wash. You must have seen it's been on telly. It's usually on telly on Saturday afternoons for some reason. Or it used to be. Richard Pryor's in it, obviously, and it's based around the various hijinks around a car wash. And the soundtrack is absolutely incredible. Again, a soundtrack that doesn't get its due in my opinion. Obviously, it's all the music's all composed and produced by Norman Whitfield, another legend. And it's mostly featuring Rose Royce, but it's got the Pointer Sisters on, and it's just full of classics. And the song that always gets me dancing is the actual title track, Car Wash. I love the way it starts with the claps and the sort of like the scratch guitar, and then it just builds and builds, and the bass line's so funky. And oh yeah, but this whole album I've danced to because you got 6 o'clock DJ, Let's Rock, Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is. There's just so many classics on here. It's not celebrated enough as it should be, but it's a classic soundtrack, and yeah, I always dance to this. So yeah, Car Wash. Okay, find a triple album. You could go for the obvious ones here, but I didn't want to go for an obvious one, so I've picked a compilation. So this is Strange Games and Funky Things 3, compiled by Kenny Dope, who was a DJ. I'm not really sure who Kenny Dope is, but it doesn't really matter. Great cover, and this is a soundtrack from the 90s, which I always think was a golden age for compilations, especially funky ones. BBE, Strut, Blue No, Harmless. There's so many great compilations of funky tracks, and this is a 3 LP set. I presume it's made that way for DJs to play out because it's ridiculously loud. And also the track listing's superb. You've got Don Blackman, Holding You, Loving You, Melba Moore, Standing Right Here, Denise Williams, Free. You've got the Love Unlimited Orchestra with the title that they got the compilation series from, Strange Games and Funky Things. I think I bought this at the time for the track, the Labby Sifri track, I Got The, which is an amazing track. Obviously, it's become really famous for the fact that Eminem sampled it for My Name Is. It's got that break in the middle. It's just unbeatable. But the actual song itself is amazing. And I think, if I remember rightly, Chaz and Dave play on it in one of them sort of weird pub quiz questions you sometimes get. I'm sure they play on it. I think I originally got this compilation for that track because it's amazing. But there's so many amazing songs on here. Lonnie Liston Smith, A Chance for Peace, the Deirdre Wilson, To Back, I Can't Keep From Crying Sometimes, Roy Ayers, Everyone Loves the Sunshine, Ramp, Daylight. Killer after killer on this compilation. And also it's got one of my all-time favourite funk instrumentals, Marvin Gaye's T Plays It Cool, which it's if you've never heard it, go and check it out right now. It's amazing. It's sort of got this loop sort of drum break that goes all the way through it, and it's like a 4-bar drum beat, and it's got a little fill at the end, and it stays to that rhythm, and it's just so utterly funky, and it's one of my all-time favorite instrumental tracks, and it's so funky, and it's so sort of obviously from the film Trouble Man, the blaxploitation film, but it's such a groover. It's amazing. Anyway, this compilation is cool. So this is the 3 LP set. So this is the triple album I picked out. Quite hard to find now, but if you do see a copy, get one. It's fantastic compilation on a BBE. Okay, next up, find a low energy opening track. So it's like a slow track that opens an album up. And the first one I thought of straight away was Drive from the absolute classic REM album, Automatic for the People. Really slow acoustic type number with strings, and it's just so slow, and it's a really unusual track to start an album with. I think it was actually released as a single as well, because REM did sometimes have some strange choices for singles, but yeah, that opens the album really slow. And although there are quite a few slow tracks on the album, it is an unusual track to start with, but it works. It does really work. So that's Drive off Automatic for the People. Next up, find a record that the last VC video would dig that you watched. So the last VC video I watched was Alex at Beer and Vinyl. Check out his channel if you haven't. I love Alex's channel, it's great. And Alex loves jazz, so I thought I would pick another compilation, actually, not a jazz album, a jazz compilation album. And I thought I'd introduce him to something a bit different. So this is Impressed with Giles Peterson, and this is a compilation of British jazz from the 50s, 60s and 70s. So you've got people like Ronnie Ross, Tubby Hayes, the Don Rendell and Ian Carr Quintet, Graham Collier, Mike Westerbrook, Michael Garrick Trio, and this is just a sublime Brit jazz compilation, because Brit jazz always did have that distinctive sound to it that was very different from the American jazz musicians. And yeah, a bit of a minimalistic design for the album, but the album is great. It's a double LP compilation. That's Giles Peterson there, who's selected the tracks. There's loads of sleeve notes about the artists and the tracks themselves. And yeah, it's a great compilation of Brit jazz. So I thought Alex might like to hear a bit of Brit jazz for a change. So yeah, that's my choice for that prompt. And next, another sort of jazz question. Show an album with a vibraphone on it. I've got just a thing. Again, this is an absolute classic. This is the Modern Jazz Quartet Space album on the Beatles Apple label. They released 2 albums on the Beatles Apple label, and I've always loved this album. It's an absolutely superb jazz album. It's melodic, it's dark, it's brooding, it's sort of got a great late night feel. And Milt Jackson's vibraphone playing is all over it, and it's beautiful, it's melodic, it's a great headphone listen. Visitor from Venus, Visitor from Mars. It's got the Adagio from the Concierto de Aranjuez. I've probably said that wrong, but you know, I think Miles Davis did it as well, didn't he, on Sketches from Spain? Yeah, I think he did, yeah. But yeah, Milt Jackson's a vibraphone player, and he's all over this, and it's amazing. And there he is there. And yeah, this is a superb album. This is a reissue. I think the American version's got a gatefold sleeve, which has this in the inner. But yeah, if you've never heard this album, even if you're not a jazz fan, check it out, because it's beautifully melodic and dark, but not dark in a bad way. Dark as in, it's got quite a sort of, it's hard to describe, but I know what I mean, a late night sort of vibe to it. So yeah, that's an album with a vibraphone player on it. Okay, find a double album with a 1-4-2-3 sequence. Oh, this was so difficult. I know I've got some. I think I've got 3 or 4, but finding them and remembering what they are was just really difficult. I mean, I've never seen one of these, but apparently, was it in the 70s? Records were pressed with a 1-4-2-3 sequence. So for the record stacker players. So I think I'm right in saying that you put on side 1, which was back with side 4. So side 1 dropped down, then your second disc had sides 2 and 3 on it, so side 2 dropped down, and then it flipped, so you got side 3 dropping down and then side 4, so you didn't have to change the record. So great idea in a principle, but yeah, I've got a few of these, but I couldn't for the life of me remember which ones they were, but I did remember one and find one, and this is Isaac Hayes live at the Sahara Tahoe from '73. This is obviously a live album. I've not played it for a while, and this is bizarrely, I think it's an Italian pressing. I don't know why I've got an Italian pressing of it. I've had it a long time. It's a great live album, and I think the original issue had sort of like cinema doors here, and you opened up your flaps, and Isaac Hayes was there, and that's the sort of thing that used to happen quite a lot in the '70s, you ladies, and yeah, so yeah, it's not an original, it's an Italian pressing, but this has got loads of great tracks on. Theme from Shaft, obviously, The Come On, Light My Fire, Ike's Rap 5, Never Can Say Goodbye, Look of Love, Use Me, Do Your Thing. Oh, it's just great. So it's a mixture of his originals and his covers and his monologues and stuff, so it's great. But although the label makes it look like it's numbered correctly, so you've got side 1 and you've got side 2, but if you look at the track listing, it does actually follow the 1, 4, 2, 3 sequence. So that is side 1, but that's actually side 4, and the other disc is 2 and 3. So yeah, it counts. So although it's not numbered that way, it is that sequence. So yeah, I did it. Yeah, I found one. So Isaac Hayes. But if you didn't have a stacker player, it's quite a pain in the arse if you want to listen to it in order. So yeah, they didn't really think that thing through, did they? But they must have been popular at one point, because I think quite a few records, double albums obviously, were pressed like that. Excuse me 1 minute. Can't beat a bit of bubblegum pop. Okay, question 9. Show an autograph. And I've got a few autograph records, but I thought I'd show the first one I ever got signed. And this is going back in the day when I used to work in a record shop. So when I left university, I went straight into a record shop for some reason, and it was like being a kid in a candy shop. And I worked in record shops about 10 years, and it was great. I loved it, but yeah. And this was the first one I ever got signed. So this is Shed 7's A Maximum High from 95 maybe. And I worked at a branch of Andy's Records, which I don't think exists anymore. But the band came, and it was the first signing I'd ever worked at or ever been to. And it was amazing. There was a big queue. Shed 7 was obviously quite big at the time. It was Britpop and all that. And what struck me the most, and the biggest memory of it, I think they were the similar sort of age to me. And it was great seeing this band, this young band, and they couldn't believe how many people had come to see them and get things signed. And you could just tell how excited they were that they were in a band and things were taking off. And they were a really nice bunch of lads. And what amazed me the most was that obviously the record shop I worked in was in a big shopping centre, and downstairs there was a comic shop, Forbidden Planet, and before the signing took place, they went down and they all treated themselves to like Star Wars memorabilia and all that sort of stuff. So they came back up to the shop and they were showing us all these things they bought, and they just looked so happy and so chuffed, and you know, young band and having a bit of money and stuff like that. So yeah. So this is the album A Maximum High, quite a big album at the time. This is an original pressing, Polydor, comes with a booklet with great photos of the band and all the lyrics and stuff. And Shed 7 have had a bit of a resurgence recently. They've reformed and they started making albums again. And I think they've gone down really well as well. I think they've had a #1 album again recently. But back to the album, obviously I got them to sign it, so you can see Paul Banks' signature there Oh, that's it. Yeah, it says 98 there, doesn't it? So he's put 98 on. And I don't know if you can see, catch the light in the right way. There's Rick Whitter's signature there. But I've kept this in a poly sleeve since I've had it. And some of the signatures, as you can see, have sort of reacted with the poly sleeve and worn off a little bit, but you can still see them. But they've gone quite sticky as well, so I'm not sure how much that would fetch on the second-hand market. Shed 7's Sticky Signatures, which would be a good band name, to be fair, as well. But yeah, great album, getting better. Where have you been tonight? Going for Gold, On Standby, This Day Was Ours. Great Britpop album, and autographed, and yeah, brings back a few memories, that does. So and also I've still got this in it. Do you remember these? Used to send away, they used to be included in albums, used to send them away to receive information on forthcoming releases, tours, because obviously no internet, no emails, or they might have been in their infancy, but yeah, that's how I used to send off for info about what was going on and things. And sometimes I think you could send away for download cards when they first started, but by post. Bizarre to think of that now. Anyway, Shed 7 Maximum High, autographed album. 10 show a limited edition numbered album. I'm going to show this one for a reason I'll tell you about in a minute. This is Candy Staten. Candy Staten, I can never sure how you pronounce her name. This is her 1972 self-titled album. It's a reissue. It's an absolute corking album. If you don't know this album, please get it. In fact, get any of the 3 albums she made for the Fame label, whether they're reissues or not, because they're absolutely superb. I'm not going to talk too much about this album because I'm going to talk about it on a forthcoming video, but I got this recently in a sale. It's just superb. Every single track. Do It in the Name of Love, Blackmail, In the Ghetto, Loving You, Loving Me, I'll Drop Everything and Come Running. Oh, it's just sublime soul, well arranged, well played. The vocals are amazing. And this is a limited edition numbered album on Kent, on coloured vinyl. It's a rough trade edition, and I think this is a little bit cheeky. So basically this is an exclusive hand-numbered edition on purple vinyl. Now, what's wrong with that picture? So it's a limited numbered edition of 250 that they haven't bothered to number. So that suggests to me it's not limited, and there's probably more than 250 copies. So that annoys me. That I've had records like that before, where they said they're numbered and they can't be bothered to number them. So as a special treat, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to number it, okay? And I'm going to put. So mine is now an exclusive 001 of 250. So I've got the first copy of this limited run. It's amazing, isn't it? Just shows you what you can do. If they can't be bothered, I'm going to do it. So yeah, collector's edition now. So yeah, that's my numbered album that is now numbered. Okay, show a record from a country that doesn't exist anymore. Now, I'm not great at geography, and I'm not great at world issues or things like that, but I did find one. This was quite a challenge, but I did find one. This is from a country that doesn't exist anymore. So this is Parliament's Motor Booty Affair, and it's an album all about the country of Atlantis. Now, before you're saying it doesn't exist, it does. It's just underwater now. I think it was off the coast of Cleethorpes in the UK. And this is a concept album about how Parliament are going to try and raise Atlantis to the top. So, and again, great packaging on this one. So it's got a pop-up of Atlantis. And great artwork showing what Atlantis used to look like. Very happy place. And inside it has some cutouts of the population of Atlantis, what the people used to look like. Very funky, as I'm sure you'll agree. My favourite's this guy here. I love an outfit like that. And minus move there, he's called. Everything he says is negative. And you've got a peanut booty jellyfish with a face like an arse. And yeah, so that's what people of Atlantis used to look like before their country regrettably sank. And I think that was the leader of Atlantis, obviously riding to work on his dolphins before the country sank. But yeah, that's my album about a country that doesn't exist anymore, Atlantis. So you won't find it on no map, so don't bother looking for it. And lastly, number 12, which is the hardest question supposedly, but it was hard, to be fair. Show an album with a top-loading configuration. Now, I know what everyone's going to say, and I could only think of the Beatles' White Album. Racked my brain for this. I couldn't think of another one at all. And then I stumbled across this, which is a great album, and it's got some of the best packaging you'll see on an album, I think. And it's the John Spencer Blues Explosion, and it's their album Plastic Fang. And it's packaged to look like, you know, these sort of like plastic bag things you get in joke shops. So, yeah, it's meant to, you know, it's got the thing where you can hang it. And like, you know, plastic, you used to get plastic fangs or jokes in like little bags that they used to hang on these hangers in shops. And it's a superbly packaged album, which I'll show you in a minute, but it's a top loader. So you pull the records out the sleeve at the top. So I'll show you those first. Great packaging, great comic art. Just superb. Love that die cut sleeve. And it's printed on the inside as well. It's a double album. Yeah, just packaging is absolutely superb on this album. And if you take the actual album out of the plastic bag, bit fiddly. Yeah, it's like got some great sort of horror comic art that runs through it, as well as all the joke fangs you can send off for. Just great packaging. And superb, isn't it? And it's the same on the back. Superb. And I think this was their second to last album, maybe. I think it was an album they threw quite a bit of money at it, because it's produced by Steve Jordan, who worked with the Stones. And there's some quite famous people. Dr. John plays on this, as does Elliott Smith, does some vocals on it. Bernie Worrell, the keyboard player of Parliament and Funkadelic, is on it. And yeah, produced by Steve Jordan. And it's people don't really talk about the John Spencer Blues Explosion anymore, but they're a great little sort of punky, guitar-y type jam band with, you know, and you've got John Spencer's sort of hiccuping Elvis type vocals. And yeah, always love the packaging for this album. And it's a top loader, and comes in this great bag. So yeah, so that's it. That's all the prompts. So I just want to say thanks to Old Fowley, the Righteous Bo Jambo, and to honestly check out his channel. He's a really cool bloke, and he's a character, and I love characters. And yeah, thank you for this tag, because it came at the right time, and it's kept me busy this week, and I've really enjoyed doing it. So check out his channel and have a go at this thread. It's quite challenging. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, check out his channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers, Bo Jambo.